See the full animated short at playoverwatch.com.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us here at the Heroes Global Championship. We're getting ready for game number 4 between the Playful Ducks and Tricked Esports. Claris, we just had a Cho'Gall.
We did have a Cho'Gall.
Dead Gall.
And then
then
we didn't have a Cho'Gall. It was a little bit unfortunate for him going up against Leoric Karazim towards the end. Sport Bailey played the damage Karazim very well.
Yep.
And knew exactly when to go in, so it was nice to watch.
Yeah, and it's nice to watch Tricked Esports also kind of flexing a little bit here and trying to figure out what competitions they like. It's one of the best things about a best-of-5 series. You try to feel out what your opponents are weak to and what you could be strong with, but just did not work out here. We do have a tweet from you at home if you continue to hit us up on Twitter at Heroes Esports with the hashtag HGC. Think you guys could pull out a Cho'Gall cosplay? Do they make suits with double heads? Is that even a thing?
I don't know. We could buy a really big, wide shirt and then just kind of,
just kind of finagle it.
Yeah, do what we do.
Yeah,
we should play Cho'Gall on stream sometime.
Dude, that'd be a lot of fun. What would our name be?
I don't know.
Triaris?
Yeah,
I'm Cho, period. I'm always the legs.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm okay with that. We would lose, but it's fine.
We wouldn't lose. What are you talking about?
We might lose.
This guy's not even try-harding, man. I'm full try-hard all the time. Cho'Gall, we would dominate.
With hashtag Trixler's wacky meta.
This guy.
So,
you got to have confidence before you take Cho'Gall, man. You got to go in like...
I've got Master Skin on EU.
Okay, see, that's good. That's a step forward. That's a positive. We're good. We're good. All right, guys, Battleground. We're going to game number 4 here between our 2 teams. Remember, Tricked Esports is up 2-1 currently at the moment. Tuma, Spider Queen has been banned out. Sky Temple as well. We went to Infernal Shrines. Braxis Holdout. We just finished up on BOE, and we are going to Dragonshire.
Ooh. Okay, cool. So we have seen quite a lot of Dragonshire in Europe, right?
Yeah.
And there has been more of a focus on things like Dahaka. We've even seen Dahaka bans come in early on. So obviously Tassadar is going to be banned.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Ragnarok's great on this Battleground too, but I think this is the first time that we actually saw Tricked Esports pull off their triple warrior. In the past, we saw them with Tyrael, Dahaka, and I believe Artanis, if I want to remember correctly. I know Artanis for sure on this Battleground a few times from Infernal. So this is one of those Battlegrounds that the more I watch on Europe, the more the style of waiting for moments to happen is taking us into the late game. I would like to see more pressure, in particular here from the playing Ducks to kind of offset that entire thought process that we see from teams like Tricked Esport.
On playing Duck side, I'd like Medivh again. I actually just think that, yeah, of course they did lose with Medivh in that first game, but I think that Sports Billy's Medivh is good. It's going to be Tassadar ban. Wow, wow, wow.
Are you surprised, Caleris?
Yes. Listen to the sarcasm. Yes, I'm surprised.
I actually think when we get to Valeera patch, he could be banned out too. He's actually really strong on live right now.
Archon
build
tell.
Is insane.
Archon build's strong.
Level 20 is like, it's duration based. If you attack a minions, it resets the duration.
Yeah.
Like, what? It's broken.
It's gonna be very eye-opening to see how these pro-European teams actually approach that, because I think that I think Europe gets a really good grasp of the meta very fast. Not even some of our top teams sometimes. It can be like our lower teams. They just kind of experiment with a lot of stuff.
Dahaka switching his skins a few times. There will be the instant pickup from Dragonshire here for Tricked Esport, and that was probably going to be a go-to for both teams. Both have picked Dahaka in the past for their top lane. Now, the playing Ducks need to decide if they want to go for Ragnaros. Honestly, Tricked Esport, after seeing the Ragnaros play in game number 1, is probably like, we're not too scared of your Ragnaros. not to hate on you, Nande, but those Sulfuras matches were a bit questionable.
You know what I miss on this map?
What do you miss?
I miss Chen.
I miss Chen, too.
I miss Chen.
I actually think he's good in this meta, too.
That lovable drunken panda.
Yeah, because, like, there is a decent amount of CC, but his ETC and Falstad will be the pickups. His dive into Wandering Keg is actually pretty insane right now in the meta, because you're able to just drop back the back lines. You're unstoppable during the entire thing, and you can get isolation easily, and there's not much burst. So he actually does pretty well. Yeah,
one day. I think that going back to this draft now, we'll probably end up seeing Tychus fit one of these spots. Oh no, never mind. They are very heavy on the Jaina right now, which is very interesting to see, considering that, Zeratul was banned already, but they have so much reliance on Jaina. It seems like that's all Crosby wants to play.
Yeah, Malfurion, Jaina, and Dahaka here. Have we seen a Diablo from Tricked Esports yet?
Not today. Do you mean in the past?
In the past. I feel like we haven't. It's mostly been Tyrael and such, which is interesting because we haven't had much from him today.
Dive into the Book of Kalaris.
I just feel like Diablo can be a strong pickup here on this Battleground. So I wonder if Play and Ducks wants to get rid of it, just because of them having the Jaina and the Malfurion. You have the APOC, you have your rotations between mid and bottom.
We saw it Cursed Hollow against Fnatic.
Okay.
Which we all know how that went.
Well, that whole matchup went.
Yeah. Any more tricked?
So if I'm playing Ducks, I'm thinking about maybe Diablo. I'm thinking about maybe Rhaegar as my bans. Well, not Rhaegar, actually. It's Malfurion setup. So Diablo makes sense for me here. Is there anyone else? Do you get rid of Ragnaros, maybe? There's Zul to split it up. But would they even go Zul here? Jaina, Dahaka is an incredible wave clear as is.
I think they may have done. Like, it fits into the most random places in the Europe. Not random places. I shouldn't phrase it like that, because that kind of discredits it. It feels like it always comes in towards the later stages of the drafts, and then it always surprises me how much damage it does, like on Dragonshire, etc.
Yeah, because I just feel like they have the tools already. But you could get a hard engage too and just set up the top lane or set up a bottom lane that Zul soak up the 2 lanes. So yeah, it's still a viable strategy here. And playing Ducks may just not want to go massive wave clear here and go for more isolation. So getting rid of Zul does make sense. But it'll make more sense after we see their 3rd and 4th pick here. They have Falstad, they have their ETC.
I wouldn't have... Oh, no, because it was them that banned it. Like, I wouldn't have minded, like, say... The Zul sets up Jaina so well, right? I mean, there's a lot of lockdown that sets up Jaina really well, but you absolutely know where that person's going to be rooted in 2 seconds' time. Ragnaros comes in a little bit later on down into the draft. Looks like Playing Ducks is just favoring the control of battles in ETC and Falstad rather than the big damage. And having this now is okay. Hoping Nande lands some better combos here.
So do we get Murden for a 4th here for Tricked Esport? I feel like I want Murden more with the ETC here. You also have the Stormbolt for Ragnaros/Falstad. You have pure isolation. It's also great on this battleground for rotations. But the 5th hero is a question mark for here. Do you go for a Vala with the Tychus being banned out?
You mentioned Murden, but I think you even mentioned before the Johanna. I think the Johanna isn't even bad on this map. I think she's
true.
Yeah, she has her weight on here. So it could be a toss-up between those two. But I imagine Alex the Pro G would end up on Dahaka, and then Murden, if it were to come in, would be Eternal.
Ooh, Arthas.
All right, well, we know where that's going then. That's Alex the Pro G.
Yeah.
And now Eternal is on... Wait. Pardon?
Murden, Arthas, Dahaka, triple warrior.
Pardon?
Here for our team. Pure Jaina damage. Well,
What?
Arthas can do pretty solid damage. I don't know, it's actually... The more I think about it, it's not too bad. With you having so many isolated pickoffs and so many scrims happening on this battleground.
If Dahaka wasn't here, I'd swear we were playing the Warcraft 3 campaign. This is... What? That's a lot of frontline.
It's got a lot of frontline, a lot of clear, and good scrimmaging potential. Arthas does surprising damage. And this also puts Playing Ducks in a weird spot for their final pick, as he can actually handle Vala relatively well with the armor that's been given to him lately. The physical armor.
Is Leoric just the go-to now?
But Leoric with Falstad Ragnaros? I mean, that could be a pick-off on Jaina, maybe.
You entomb, you gust, you kill.
Yeah, but Dahaka has Burrow, Malfurion has Ice Block, Arthas can be tanky with Army of the Dead, Murden's Murden. It would all be Jaina here. Yeah, you don't have much for anti-tank here until maybe Falstad goes for auto-tech building his Giant Killer.
That's an insane
Do you go
front
with
line.
Nubrak and just keep Jaina on the back line? No, we're going for Li Ming.
Very rarely do I ever get to see that heavy a front line in one of these games going up against an ETC and Ragnaros at the front.
Yeah.
Like, that's light.
Yeah. So I'm ready to see it shake out, that's for sure. I don't know if I agree with the Li Ming. I just feel like there's enough sustain with Murden and Arthas. If they kite backwards, they can come back in relatively well tapped off, and they also have the Malfurion for the back line, and then you have Dahaka then coming for the engage. I think it's more of like a panic. Okay, how do I handle this front line without my Tychus being available? We can't go Leoric, as you were mentioning, just because Falstad might not be enough, unless you just get pure Entombs. But they have so many tools to deal with the Entomb later on. It's going to be a matchup, but I think I actually lean more towards Tricked Esport here, just because of the amount of scrims that happen on Dragonshire and how they can handle holding those shrines so well.
Well, yeah, I mean, with that kind of front line, I don't think they're going to be giving up the shrines anytime soon.
Yeah.
It's really difficult for me to say. That is a very interesting draft.
Yeah, that it is. I think Ragnaros needs to dominate his top lane, and then there needs to be lots of Falstad movement in the early game. Lots.
I think my concerns, because I'm like, okay, do they have enough frontline to go up against the Dahaka and Arthas and the Muradin? I think based on that, I have to go with Tricked Esport as well, because I don't see how they're going to chew through that right now.
Yeah, it's going to come down to isolations and then getting a lead. If they get a lead, then suddenly Leeming can become much more scary.
Yeah.
And then Falstad can ramp up to the late game. Both builds are great for him, whether it be the Hammering build or whether it be the Seasoned Marksman build. Both can be solid here.
I think it has to be Seasoned Marksman.
Yeah, I think
with the amount that you're going to be able to just wail on that front line. In
Yeah.
Europe, that's kind of like a common go-to when you're going up against a really strong front line.
I think I agree.
So go that way.
Put them in the rotation, middle and bottom, then have them go to the top
Yeah.
lane. We're ready for game number 4. We'll see how the playing Ducks will try to handle Tricked Esport and their robust front line. Here we are, Tricked Esport up 2-1, looking for a win here.
And what a comp. What a comp. Napa is going to be on Malfurion here as our support. We have Alex the Pro-G on his fabled Arthas, absolutely. Crosby on Jaina. We will have Ethernal going to be playing Muradin. And finally, to round things out, Remaballer on Dahaka. That is a unstoppable wall.
That it is. Lots of flank potential too. Wolf Joe here on the right, going to be playing the Rhaegar. Explosion on ETC. Sport Billy showing off his Falstad play. We've seen it a few times in the past. Here is Chris on his patented Li Ming. Last but not least, Nande with the Ragnaros.
So, because you've got such a heavy front line, I would like to see talents more akin to damage, which already we're seeing that from Ethernal. He's going Perfect Storm at level 1, so he's going to be looking for extra little burst in his kit. This is where you can start messing around with warrior builds to just say, okay, we're all super tanky anyway, let's just find as much damage as possible, which is why sometimes down the line for Muradin, I wouldn't mind giving him the axe, but I think heavy impact can also have its place, etc.
I think I like the piercing bolt and the skullcracker and give him the axe for sure. If you ever get on Li Ming, you can be just a powerhouse and burning your health bar down at quarter health between shoots. Ineffective at some point because he's not able to poke so easily and slash go for that Calamity build that we've seen Chris run multiple times.
Look at that. My favorite lane of all time in the top. Number 1 versus number 2. It's Ragnaros versus Dahaka. Who's going to win? The answer is... I can't remember.
I think Dahaka wins the pushing war, but Ragnaros clears really well. His clear is pretty insane.
I think it's pretty even. I guess it depends on if drags land. If drags land, then you can get a lot of free damage off onto Ragnaros.
Yeah.
And then it also depends on where you take the engagements. Because if you fight him amidst the wave, he's going to get so much health back from his Empower Sulfuris. So, yeah.
Well, right now, Ragnaros is set up for the Shrine, and we have Chris Explosion in the bottom Shrine as well. Both will be unlocked for the playing Ducks. Falstad has flown to the middle lane to put some pressure on Arthas, but Arthas being full health, you're not going to chunk to that anytime soon. So both teams will continue this dance that we see here. Nape in the bottom right is going to clear out the bush and put out a scouting drone, but Chris Explosion will move in for the kill. Can they take out Nape? And they do. Solid gank there from playing Ducks.
Brilliant block and brilliant little eyes to be able to spot exactly where he was. And it doesn't matter how many scouting drones you have there, unfortunately for Nape, it was not useful in the slightest. So, the tussle at the top continues. That will continue for quite a while. This is a nice timing on the camp, actually. You get yourself a kill, start establishing even more control over that bottom shrine, the bottom lane, and potentially do some damage to the wall.
Tricked Esports will mirror the grab of the Giants here too, just to make sure that they're not having the lanes pushed in any way. 4 members down here though for the playing Ducks as they were looking for a possible engage. Maybe could have been a bit quicker on that, especially with the kill on Malfurion. Just send Chris Explosion instantly over to those Giants and get them checked out. A bit delayed on that rotation, but it's all going to work out as Chris will be able to help clear this bottom lane with his friend Wolf Joe. Is Fort Billy getting marksman stacks like crazy? He is here in the middle lane. I would like to see maybe Chris Explosion bury him down the bottom and help him get more stacks here. Oh, but a dragon is going to be grabbed already here at 3 minutes.
And Chris Explosion did a good job of power sliding and knocking back Alex the Pro-G there, making sure he couldn't get in range for that Howling Blast or Death Coil. As poor Death Knight's going to get kicked over the wall. Have to come back here as Jaina will enter the fray now. Looking to just slow this down. But a good start from playing Ducks, especially if they get him. But no, Ethernal tosses away.
They're watching the bush there to see if anyone's coming his way. Sports Billy does get the kick, will knock him away to the top right. Dahaka's there to help him get away, though. Meanwhile, Sports Billy looking for more turrets here with this early dragon. Oh, they do actually catch Merlin there. Nande gets the kill. I thought Rimmerballer would be able to grab that.
Yeah, a lot of that damage, I think, came from the Living Meteor as well. He'd thrown it down in the perfect trajectory to actually catch Muradin on his retreat out as he was mounting up. So nicely done there by Playing Ducks. 2-0 at the moment in terms of kills. And towers.
But the Playing Ducks do have a comp here for the early game. This is what damage does well, right? And mid-game is where Tricked Esport should come online. Dahaka getting his setup for his Essence. You have Arthas getting the Army of the Dead. You'll have Muradin able to set up for his Avatar, so they should be able to stick in fights much more. Right now, the Playing Ducks are playing this composition correctly, and they're getting more, in my opinion. Able to grab turrets in the middle. I think that Dragon going over was a bit of a blunder from Tricked Esport. I
have to agree with you in terms of the phases of the game. It feels like heavier warrior compositions gain far more potential when they're all coupled together, when they start fighting together as a team. Looking to lock down. That's a good cleanse though on Sport Billy. Getting him away because a lot of damage came in. If that wasn't going to be a cleanse, he potentially could have died.
Yeah, certainly. With a Thurnal in the back there, could maybe jump in and get that Stormbolt. Gotta agree with you. Could have been a kill, but the cleanse is what is taken for Tricked Esport. And their main objective here is just get back the lanes, keep soaking that experience as Playing Ducks has taken a slight lead. Crosby and Alex Prodigy will grab their own mercenaries and stop this tug of war in the top lane. Dahaka should be able to clear that relatively well, which means Tricked Esport could get value out of that push.
Sport Billy gone for a secret weapon, not Boomerang, with this also attack build. Some people might say, well, duh, but oftentimes you do still Season Marksman with Boomerang just for that little bit of extra burst. I think I love it with Secret Weapons and Season Marksman. I think it synergizes really, really well. And they'll get good value out of it, I think.
Yep, super helpful for clearing. Chris down here working in the damage. He is going Calamity. What do you think about that in a triple warrior?
That's it's a bold move. Bold move.
Yeah.
Is one way to look at it. Let's see how he's gonna play it out.
Yeah.
Because Chris knows best.
Yeah, I think Chris's thoughts is, okay, well, if they come to a point where we do break Tricked Esport, if I don't break them, if I don't go Calamity and I don't break them at that moment, they will sustain us. So he goes for a Calamity here, which could mean that he's going to go for that level 13 Town Illusionist and jump into fights more effectively, but it's going to have to come down to pinpoint timing. And it can work. If you're able to take off one member of the opposing team, get that dominance blowing, Li Ming can be a threat. However, Tricked Esport should be set up well to handle that build. Howling Blast to slow down Sport Billy while the bottom lane is grabbed by Nape from Malfurion, so the denial of the Dragon will be great here for Tricked Esport as they hit 10, and this is their power spike.
I mean, these Calamity teleports forwards are going to have to be cleanup and nothing else. I don't see it coming into the late stages of the game. They may think that going up against a triple warrior comp, all of the warriors are going to get low, and then they'll retreat, and then where are they going to find the kill potential? That might be where we're looking for there. Like, he realizes they're all going to get low at some point, they're going to try and retreat out, and then he wants to chase them down. So there, maybe he can find good value in it, which definitely could happen, because that's normally how these warrior lineups work.
We'll see if Chris can get that value. Howling Blast onto ETC, the Cleanso, but the follow-up from Rimmer, and he's going to get the drag too. Wolf Joe in trouble. The Stormbolt does connect, and Wolf Joe, 2 members taken out as the Playing Ducks get rotated on there with Dahaka.
And like the flick of a switch, that's where these warrior compositions gain their power. When they're all together, because they all have lockdown. If a Stormbolt hits, that means a Howling Blast is going to hit. That means a Drag is going to hit. So, unless, of course, one cleanse comes out. But you only have so many cleanses, and that's one.
Yeah.
Unless you're with this area.
It's a layered approach to stopping cleanse from being so effective.
Yeah.
Right? You're able to get the one cleanse off on the first Howling Blast, and then suddenly you have 2 more tanks coming at you with some form of CC that can connect. So Tricked Esport's trying to negate the possibility of cleanse being so effective.
So Ring of Frost doesn't really hit anything. It's just kind of in safety or defense, I suppose. But, I mean, even Roots, even Jaina slows and lockdowns, like all of this really lines up nicely together. And if, like, at level 16, we see Rampant Growth come in, if we see Numbing Blast coming in from Jaina towards 16 as well, then anybody who gets caught out of position is going to be very, very stuck.
Explosion trying to hold on this shrine here to prevent his opponents from grabbing the dragon. He'll be able to do so. Nande has rotated all the way from the top lane here to the bottom lane, which should be key here for Dahaka to move back to top lane whenever that Brush Dunker comes off of cooldown. But all 5 members for our teams are A-ramming here in the bottom lane.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit unfortunate, though, for Rema. As a Dahaki, you've got to consider, like, do you want to use your Brush Stalker to go up there, assuming that there isn't going to be a fight in the next 40 seconds, or do you want to walk up there and then use it to get back to a fight? And sometimes you can be stuck in that spot. That's why maybe, like, Falstad can be faster, because his base movement speed is just faster than a lumbering dinosaur that is Dahaka.
Poor lumbering dinosaurs.
No.
They need to sprout some wings and evolve.
Yeah.
Pressure from playing Ducks will now occur as we have Mercenaries pushing the top lane. And Tricked Esport is just looking for an engage. Sport Billy does fly down to his teammates here, but luckily for Trick, they just left that bush. Ring of Frost on the way here.
That's a good theory, though, because didn't like all the paleontologists say that birds evolved from dinosaurs? Yeah. So is Falstad's bird actually the evolved form of Dahaka?
That could be a possibility.
That's a possibility.
That could be a possibility.
Look at him. There he goes.
I mean, if you rearrange Dahaka, it spells Falstad. That's pure math right there. There you go.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, I didn't know.
Never noticed that.
Oh my god. Somebody's gonna tweet you now. They're gonna be like, well, actually.
That's not true, Trixler. Do you even spell? And also, it's not math. This calls me out straight up. All right, guys. Will Tricked Esport and the playing Ducks continue this dance back and forth? And I think it really comes down to Tricked Esport. Like, playing Ducks has the tools to disengage really easily. They have Wolf Joe, they can jump with the Ghost Wolf, they have their Lemmings, they have the teleports, they have mobility. So Tricked Esport has to make the play. It's just a matter of where do they find the play. Cleanse comes out for Alex Aproji. He will put the slowing sands here, or the slowing attacks here on Alex Aproji and Chris Explosion. Eternal is up here looking for a Storm Bolt, but the Blizzard does come out, and Chris Explosion is able to escape.
It's like the fights go down in slow motion with this many warriors. Like,
yeah.
the Ancestral came out, and I felt like it took 5 seconds to cast, but it still hit anyway.
Yeah, so connected. You're looking at Chris, he's throwing out these orbs, and like, that's going to be a massive orb, and it connects with a warrior. It's like, oh, wait a minute.
That did nothing.
That's only like a fifth of its amp power. He's good to go. So top lane has been grabbed, and we're continuing this dance back and forth between our two teams. This is the strength of double or the triple warrior. Honestly, you have sticking power. You're there constantly. And it comes down to rotations and playing Ducks, making sure that they play smart. Because if they never move out of position, then Tricked Esport ever can't grab a dragon. But if they step out of line ever here, Tricked Esport's going to show up with some form of CC and get that kill. It's
like a new age meta from about 8 or 9, 10 months ago when we had all that CC going down and all CC got nerfed. Now we've got like even Trail Frost at 13 for Arthas, so he's technically got more potential to lock people down. And overall, it works out in terms of them getting 2 kills, but this match could go on for a long time considering the compositions. There's not a single fault gone down yet, and we're almost 12 minutes into the game. Yeah, it's going to be a long game. It's going to come down to a massive dragon at the end to have that killing power. Because, yeah, even if you look at playing Ducks, if they get a fight, they don't really have supports dragon just as well as for G-Sport to finish out this match. Dahaka keeping with the pressure in the top. Falstad is continuing to ramp up in power here, as that Seasoned Marksman is definitely going to be a thing for him, as he's getting the middle lane and the top lane in experience and Seasoned Marksman stacks with the aid of Giant Killer. He will start melting tanks soon here. So Tricked Esport will need to make a play before Sport Billy becomes an absolute monster for them to deal with. All right, yep. So good delays out towards the middle here against Alex Aproji and Nappy, moving up there. And here comes Eternal, trying to do something, but the Vault lands, Cleanse will come out. Attempt at Roots, doesn't quite work. Slow and steady wins the race. We're currently at 18 stacks for Perfect Storm, for Mirrodin. So doing a bit more damage. How much is that? I'm not maths. I'm just gonna scroll over it. 90 damage, there you go. I'm not maths. Oh, dear me.
90 damage, more than a Jaina auto attack. So it's kind of a big deal. Something to think about there.
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
Sport Billy rotates to the middle, and we're just moving towards 16. Both teams are even right now, honestly, in all facts of the game here. If you look at the aspects, you're right now it's 15 to 15. There are 40 on the side for both teams.
Is this the fabled game that never ends? Is that what we're stuck in right now?
Is this the level 30 game?
Is this Time Splitters 2? Is this what's going on right now? We're just going to be stuck in a time loop?
We made it to, with Tricked Esport, I think we made it to the level 25 the last time they played. So they definitely do like the strategy of just holding on to the late game here, these long drawn-out games, that they can just kind of wait for a moment to finally happen for them.
Is Chromie going to turn up and tell everyone off? Is that what this is?
Comes in on a referee card and just yells at everyone, "Stop! What are you doing? This never ends. You're ruining the timeline."
Yeah, the space-time continuum cannot continue. Oh, no. Well, yeah, we're still here.
Yeah, this is going to be Mercenaries again, just both teams just grabbing what they can. I think at some point, I just keep looking at Tricked Esport to be the one that makes a play. Falstad is going to be okay, just farming marksman all day. Li Ming's okay, but floating in the bottom right lane, waiting for someone to show up on the map and then grab the shrine back.
I mean, at this rate, what could potentially happen is, because we actually see Muradin taking Perfect Storm at level 1, he could eventually get to around maybe 5,000 stacks and then just one-shot people. So that could be a possibility as well. Who knows?
5,000 stacks here on the HGC.
It's a lot of stacks.
Dragon Crit Explosion, instant cleanse occurring here as Wolfjo will save his ETC. Muradin, though, is setting up for a flank in the top right corner. Dahaka here is ready to go. There goes a jump.
No.
The Stormbolt does not connect, though, as Crit Explosion will power slide away. Slight coordination off there for Tricked Esport, and they will not get a kill. Sport Billy says, thank you. I got some damage on your fort, and I get more stacks. You get this too kind. Too kind to me.
Thank you. All right, well, Crit Explosion's going to power slide away. And
ooh, the Howling Blast connects.
you say that, but he's not going to die.
Some damage from Crosby, and yep.
No one's going to die.
Especially with the little 4-town kicking in there for Ragnaros.
We're almost at 20.
And the thing is, Resilient Flame at 13-2.
Wait, up top, full stat.
Is he getting a fort? He's killed a fort. Look at him. Sport Billy, the champion here.
I have to
MVP for the team. Rimmerballer, though, is pretty upset.
No, fly.
Can he get away with the tongue?
Oh.
It misses. And Falstad will fly away. Sport Billy showing off them plays there.
Getting a fort.
Winning his lane against the fort.
But in all seriousness, as much as we do kind of like poke fun at these two compositions, you know, these compositions were designed to be very slow. There comes the Ancestral Heal once again. Alex, the Pro G, made unstoppable by the cleanse down towards the bottom. Infernal's holding them in the backlines. He might actually die himself, though. Ooh. And yes, he will go down. That was the killing blow, actually. You could see the Calamity coming into play there towards the end for that extra bit of burst. And another member is going to fall. That's 3 down there for Tricked Esport, and they crumble.
Yeah, Dominant showing off there in the Calamity build, just showing, hey, okay, once we get a pick-off, I can take this team fight and run with it. 3 members fall for Tricked Esport, and playing Ducks will make the maneuver to grab the dragon here. The Season Marksman quest is finished, which means if he hits that button, he'll be able to get that attack speed ramped up and shred those tanks even more. Yeah,
so that's going to be really powerful, especially with Secret Weapon available to him. And also, note to note, Giant Killer and Cripple Hang Hammer have come in, so he's going to be able to slow them down, do big percentage damage as well. Fireflies was picked up for Li Ming. A bit more of an uncommon talent at 16, especially in the European scene, but it just makes her more consistent, you know? She will be landing those missiles against the targets they want to hit.
Yeah, you don't need the burst there. You just need constant damage to keep marauding that front line. Get him to a point where they're half health. With the help of Falstad, you will eventually get to a point where you can break through them. So yeah, I agree with you here. They think it's great. Also, there's no bosses on this map that she needs that mirror ball to break things down. So yeah, playing Ducks here, switching up the talents a little bit here on their Li Ming, and it all makes total sense. As level 20 is going to be hitting here for the playing Ducks. 2 to 5 kills. Such a low kill game here, especially on Dragon Shire, but we are here at level 20.
So before level 16, before Tricked Esport, of course they had a lot of CC, but at level 16 they got themselves into,
Death Bridge?
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. We got a lot more CC. Numbing Blast, Heavy Impact, Entangling Roots, the Rampant Roots even, and then so technically they still have so much lockdown, but if they're not getting the kills off it, I don't know where their achievement is anymore. I gave them props early on for the potential of the front line, but playing Ducks has moved around it well.
Yeah, playing Ducks is picking them apart. You know, in the draft, I was like, this Li Ming pick is kind of odd for me, but it's been really paying off, especially with the pick here on Falstad. So playing Ducks continues the momentum. Now, Tricked Esport just needs to get to level 20. They still have their keeps. They still have a crazy front line. They just need to find an opportunity to get a pick-off. And I don't even think you go for Nanda here. I don't think you go for Chris. I think you just need to find a way to get on top of the Rhaegar here. But Wolf Joe has been playing so patient that his team has just never been in a spot where they have to watch out. Chris Explosion is the only one extended, which makes sense. He's a tank. He's in the front line, and Cleanse is always there.
But not only did now playing Ducks have, I mean, they had Gus for a long time, yes, but they have Repulsion. And anybody who gets collapsed on by that, like, heavy warrior lineup, you're going to have a Repulsion right on top of that person. It creates a great defensive mechanism for that person to then get away and survive, but also the warriors are then scattered like, somebody could potentially be picked off underneath that condition.
Yeah, they're told to reposition them. That's a really good point there. And right now, with level 20 being here, playing Ducks is just putting some pressure on the keep. Don't think they'll be able to fully grab it, especially with Dahaka already putting pressure on the top right lane, unless they get a pick off. But Crosby is playing safe. Eternals in the front line, they're just playing their minions as much as they can here with the aid of their keep. Repulsion does go off to knock Nappe in the back left. Chris Explosion wanted to follow up Alex Proji, though.
But unless they actually get that kill on Alex, they have to back off now. Level 20's just hit. Here comes Dahaka on the right-hand side. He was soaking up towards the top. He's going to come in regardless of that. Burrows away, gets himself that Dark Swarm going, picks up on towards ETC. This is the perfect opportunity for them. And will they get him? So close to death, but they actually don't start focusing on him. They will kill him off. They deny the Ragnaros Molten Core going down on towards his fall. That's 2 for 0 at the moment.
Malfurion gets a wonderful Twilight Dream. Submerge comes out, but Ragnaros is definitely going down. Can he take one with him? No, he cannot. Crosby follows up with the Blizzard, and there's the pick-off potential. We've won it all game from Tricked Esport, taking out 3 of the opposing team. The problem is they have yet to get a fort.
Yeah, I think they stuck around a little too long there. Just like 5 seconds. Dahaka up towards the top was soaking up towards his corner, and then as they get level 20, that's when you need to back off as playing Ducks. They didn't, though. Dahaka from the back line, man. Strong stuff.
That it can be. And now a strong Dragon will be picked up for Rimmer. And they will put some pressure here on the lane. Probably going to go to bottom lane. It's the number 1 you want to break down when you have the chance. Yes, they are beelining straight for it. With this Dragon, they should be able to get the fort. Now, the keep is the question. Can they get the keep? Falstad, Mighty Gust, Leaning, Repulsion. There is good defense tools here for playing Ducks.
Yes, and especially because Molten Core was actually interrupted, I think. Ragnaros should have it. So when he is up, they should be in an okay spot. I'm just clicking through heroes to try and check, but not having much luck. But I think it did get interrupted, so should be there for them.
There's a Mighty Gust to slow it down. Rimmer is going to continue with the push here. He uses a kick to get closer to the keep there. Yeah. Ragnaros does spawn, should move over here and start using that Molten Core right away. Now, similar to what we saw with the playing Ducks, you don't want to overextend here. Eternal moves in for a Stormbolt on Force ability. The cleanse does come out. He's able to walk away from the fight. Rimmer just trying to deal with Nande here as he's using that Molten Core to his advantage there. Finally, overkill. Can they get the keep? Keep still surviving here. The minions trying to get the final shot. The minions and the bolt here from Crosby will kill the keep, and Tricked Esports will take an advantage in this match.
The term threading the needle couldn't be any more precise. He slipped that through 5 members there to get that last shot. Good stuff by Crosby, because that now means that this bottom lane is theirs, effectively. As much as other pressure was put on by playing Nux towards the bottom to keep themselves, they just didn't do anywhere near as much.
And that's very helpful, because they can grab Giants, they can put Dahaka down there, they can put their other 4 on the top lane to control it, which means they can eventually get a fort and break that down. Big play there from Tricked Esport. Here comes Chris Explosion, though. Dropped up the mosh pit. Nappe is in trouble on the left side here, but he is going to get turned around on, and Crosby will snipe him just as hard as he sniped the keep.
That could be absolutely monumental here, unless they get into getting that. The Submerge as well as the Ancestral Heal comes out, but a lot of damage coming out here from Tricked Esport on towards playing Ducks. That blink into Mosh alone could have completely cost them. They've got 3 down. Bottom lane is open, and everybody on Tricked Esports is alive currently.
Falsa comes around and wants to get a pick on Crosby. Crosby healed, though, by Nappe, and is walking away. Chris does get the Q. There's a repulsion, though. They're trying to kill Jaina. Jaina's probably a big target to take off here, as the DPS is actually relatively low for killing a core for this team. They're also just in theory just trying to slow down the push here of Tricked Esports.
Yeah, it was really a good idea for them to try and get Jaina. They're just focusing her down, just protect the Jaina, just get her there, over there. She is the VIP of this moment right now. They're looking towards onto Li Ming as well. 20-some seconds before everybody is back up here for playing Ducks. The core is under threat.
Mighty Gust up in 3 seconds here. The core now is taking damage to the health here. 3 seconds until we will be having the ETC on the field. Blue team gets off 2 members, though. Li Ming going for the resets. Can Sport Billy and Chris do it? Here's Chris. He misses the power slide, but Alex Proji will be focused. They're just right-clicking. The core is low, down to 40%, but playing Ducks somehow, some way will defend.
Oh my god. I can't emphasize enough how powerful and well played Sport Billy and Chris orchestrated that defense. They knew from a minute ago they had to kill Jaina, and they somehow found a way to get to her, as well as Malfurion. They know the power isn't in these warriors. What a defense from playing Ducks, but the game is not over just yet.
It is not here. Rimmer's in the top right now. He gets towards Billy. Does hit the tongue. Gets the auto attack as well. Falstad should be able to go away. He does get away, but he is delaying the Dragon long enough here. In 14 seconds, not able to spawn, so will Jaina. They still have that Ring of Frost combo to help defend here. Rimmer trying his best to just hold. Does Nande get it? Yes, he has the Dragon Knight at 23 minutes here to push down the middle or bottom lane. All right, here we are. Chris down here, starting to siege up. Here's Nande, looking to push into the middle of the keep. Nabe is spawned. Here is Crosby. Arthas needs to spawn here as well as Murden in 6 seconds.
Yeah, this could be lights out.
It could be.
This could push us on to game number 5 if they don't somehow do this very, very well.
He gets forced Billy. He actually takes him out, and the Dragon Head's yet to hit the core. Finally, it does, but Chris Explosion's low on HP. Here's the Ancestral. The Mosh Pit, though. The repulsion from Chris knocks everyone away, so the Mosh Pit misses. Nande is being focused down. Now, do remember, he will have Molten Core and Ragnaros here. Wolf Joe needs to be focused down. Chris is on the back right. Alex Aprochi trying to defend. Nande looking to maybe use that Molten Core. No, does turn around and focuses the core. The core low on HP, 10%. Chris does get killed off and playing Ducks.
Wow.
Will tie the series here 2-2. We're going to a game number 5.
Yes, we are. I really didn't expect any different from these two teams going up against one another. I think they're very similar skill level right now. That could have been a different story, though.
Yeah.
I think we can actually take a look back at the core call that we saw from Tricked Esport to actually go for this. So you can already see, we've seen about 20 seconds worth of them trying to get onto Jaina. I'm wanting to know exactly, they almost kill Li Ming. And then on this right-hand side, it seems that the Warriors are more bothered about getting onto the core than protecting Jaina and Malfurion from Sport Billy and Chris.
And they just poke him down. Chris gets engaged. There goes the resets. You look at Rimmer, Repulsion, the Mighty Guts, and knock them back in the back right so they could have Chris come save. The power slide does not connect, but it doesn't matter. Alex Apoji gets focused down. Also, something to note, too, is that this entire catapult / giant push was delayed long enough, too. The Giants actually started besieging the keep on the left side there. Had the Giants and catapults been there slightly earlier, that may have been enough to help aid in the kill, because that's the main reason why we didn't see a full charge. They were trying to get this big, massive wave to come with them to kill off the core, and it was just slightly delayed by Sport Billy, the well being there, and the keep also taking damage on the left side.
Sport Billy and Chris, a great defense. I mean, as much as I feel that the Warrior positioning could have been a little bit better to protect them and then let Jaina get damage on towards the core, Sport Billy had 58 stacks of Seasoned Marksman by the end of things. That's a lot of damage coming out if Jaina steps out at all. Fireflies from Li Ming at level 16 actually secured so much damage towards that later moments in that fight. So massive kudos to Sport Billy and Chris. Massive.
Massive kudos. We're getting ready for game number 5 here at the HGC. We'll be back playing Ducks, taking on Tricked Esport.